2 minutes, just to see if there's anybody else that joins. And also, we could get started. Okay, Domain, how's it going now?
Hi everybody, we're in Discord. We're going to be chatting about connecting your trading strategies, indicators to Trigger.trade via Trigger.trade, to ByBit. William's in today, so we're going to be talking about that. Going to give it a couple of seconds to see if anybody else joins. If you want to come and join us, we're in Discord. It's discord.gg/DaviddTech. Come and join us.
See my screen all right? Hi, Lewis.
Hi, Will. We can see your screen, yeah, absolutely, no problem. Okay, you're on
cool.
YouTube now. I'm just going to slip over to the actual default screen here so that we're recording. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's going well. Today we're in with William from Trigger.trade, which was the DaviddTech bot, which we've renamed to Trigger.trade, and William's going to go through everything from A to Z. There you go. Over to you, Will.
Thanks, David. So today, like David just said, we'll be going on setting up mainly variable bots with DaviddTech indicators, giving you the basis, presenting the new updates, mainly on the Telegram bot, and also we'll be going over what the future updates are coming and giving a short preview of what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So hope you enjoy, everybody. And if you've got any questions, feel free to jump in and join and ask questions. We're here for that tonight. So as a lot of you know, nowadays we've switched over from DaviddTech bots to Trigger.trade about 3 months ago. Since we started off, we've added a load of new features like Telegram bots and removed also some features, i.e. the Discord bot, to make trades go much faster for everybody. As you can see, the homepage just there. We've also added on, since last week, we now have Binance features which have been added. So now you're enabled to be able to trade with either ByBit or Binance on futures. Let me go through this very quickly. That's how to set up. So the Trigger.trade bot actually generates a code looking a bit like the one which you can see on the screen currently. That's just a load of words inside of a script for us to be able to trade and launch the bots on our platform to be able to start an anchor towards ByBit or Binance, depending on the broker that you have chosen. I won't stay too long on this part area, but feel free if you've got any questions to jump in and ask. Okay, so by Telegram updates that we've been launched currently. Before we used to have a Telegram bot which used to just send a load of messages. A lot of you were saying to me, sending me messages saying, "I've got spam in the Telegram bot because of missing TP1s, TP2s." Now, if you scroll onto the website right down the bottom, I'm just going to leave this area here and scroll over to Trigger.trade. So if we log into our dashboard here, Two seconds, just let it load. So these features are currently only available on ByBit. They will be coming to Binance within the next couple of days. If we go with DaviddTech strategy and scroll right down the bottom, just to here, now we can enter in the Telegram ID and also enable or disable whatever kind of notifications we want. We have now implemented successful trade only, so you only get the notification. Just to be on the safe side, you'll get leverage notification. So we confirm that the notification of the API has connected to ByBit or to Binance and a place of the trade with your position sides, take profit, and stop loss indicated, with also the coin pair added. You'll have also just only errors if you're not worried about the side of getting notifications for the entries and they want to know what happens if there's a default on the bot, like a missing API, expired API. If you haven't whitelisted, you can enable that. And this we've also added on for notifications only. It's for just to get a notification on Telegram when if you're trying out one of DaviddTech strategies or any other strategy you want to try out but don't want to place orders to see how many trades it gets within a day or within a week. Here you can just enable notifications only and it will tell you that you've got a possible trade with your position size, or what the entry position size should be, what the take profits are based on that strategy or indicator, and your stop losses. That's that part for Telegram. If anybody's got any questions for that part, feel free to jump in and ask.
I believe that you said one of them. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
I think somebody else was asking a question. I'm not sure. I believe that you said to somebody that one of them was faster than the others. If you wanted to increase the speed, maybe.
Yeah, that's correct. If you use successful trade only, I would still go through a beta test on launching just for your first trade to make sure your APIs are correctly inputted, because some people do mistake on the APIs, put extra space or something inside the API entry area. You can switch over to successful trade and that takes it down just by a couple of milliseconds, but entering trades on milliseconds are that potential extra.
So maybe once you've finished testing and things like that, it's a good idea to move over to successful trades only for faster trades.
Yeah,
cool.
Great.
Thanks. Well,
okay, I'll move on if no one's got any questions for that area. So here's just some screenshots of trades which I've opened and just give you an idea. I put this part here in, just let me reopen this up in larger for everybody to see correctly.
Or not.
Or not, exactly. I mean, just going to grab a cup of coffee and I'll be back in about 5 minutes, 1 minute later. Oh, it's back. Just here, really, just to identify it, that we have changed the entry trade. As you can see, when it's a robot, when it's one of the bots enter, it says trade entered, to give you an idea in case you've got multiple options open for, say, if you've got 3 different indicators open, and 2 of them are on bots with successful trades, and 1 is only on for beta testing or manual trade only. You'll get a notification which is written possible trading here. So keep an eye out for that, because if it's got that message inside it, that means that the bot has not submitted to ByBit, and that's a manual trade that needs to be done. Should move on. So there's just some more examples. Here you go. So when you've got errors with trade notifications with everything enabled, so here it says everything. Successful only will only display the entered pair. And so here, when you receive only errors, just to check it out, outputs just the missing error codes, that's it. And like I said earlier on about the possible trade here, keep an eye out for that part, because if you've enabled only possible trades, manual trades, then I'll send you only possible trade, not actually entries.
On the website, there's videos on how to set up the full Telegram bot and documentation. If yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be showing that in 2 seconds. And I'll also go through this evening on setting up a Telegram bot as well with everybody here. We've added on for static bots. I won't stay too long on this part because as it's not much of a use for DaviddTech bots. Excuse me about that. Prevent pyramiding. In other words, that is for a graph. If you've got a wick, say as if you're working on a 1 minute scalper or something like that, it events to have too many entries, so it doesn't stack up on that position for you all the time. So if you've got a $20 entry, you won't keep on opening 5, 10, 20 positions within that 15-minute period if that wick re-hits that position entry. Conditional pyramiding, exactly the same as pyramiding. The only thing is that this will allow stacking up onto that entry, but with a maximum amount. So if you've got $20 entries and you want to stack it up onto $100, it will allow stack ups on each hit until you hit $100 of entry on that margin area. After that, it will block it out, and also until that trade's closed, it won't make any more entries on that position. Moving on, so that's what I was just going through explaining just a second ago for the 15-minute wick or a 1-minute wick. Here's an example. If you've got within the 15-minute wick, you've got fewer times that hits those marked here for you. So it'll be on that line here. If it hits multiple times and you've got only pyramiding invented, it will only open up on this wick here, the first one, and no other entry will be made. Moving on then. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to jump in and ask. Once again, that was just for showing, for example, pyramiding this one. If you enter on this wick here, it will restack again and restack again if it hits down to that lower low there, and restack here again on. So that would be short entries on that one if you're not taking any profits on it. So of course you're enabled, but that's only on static bot, not on DaviddTech bots. DaviddTech bot
for things like Johnny Crypto's ABC strategy.
ABC cryptos. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, in your properties on DaviddTech bots, it's already enabled.
Yeah, it's enabled inside DaviddTech already.
So you can just leave your settings as is on the Trigger.trade for when you're using DaviddTech bots. It doesn't take that part in account anyway. We've enabled on the static bot DCA mesh as well, which enables multiple opening positions. So you've got, well, say if you want to open 6 entries simultaneously with limit orders and 1 market order. So what it'll do is you'll put in your DCA range here. So you put on, like, for example, 1% or 2% or 3%, and then multiple range of the trades which you want to have. So if you've got 10 trades, 15 trades, etc., well, then on that base, it will enter your first entry, then open up six other trades with the percentage you've indicated missing between each one of them. So say like you've got 2%, so open up 6 trades. First trade will be at, say, 0 position, then 2% extra, then 2% extra, 2% extra, 2% extra, until it hits 6 trades for you as limit orders. Be aware that they do only open up as limit orders. They're not entry orders. So for just on no basis, you'll see it appear up in your board as limit orders, apart from the first entry which you made if you've selected it as being an entry order. We've also changed the Trigger.trade knowledge area, which will be launched just after this live this evening. We've got just over, I think I was counting earlier on and when I spoke with David, I think we've got about just over 40 different FAQs going in with setups of different bots with all the DaviddTech indicators. We also did have a live last week with Johnny on setting up a static bot with ABC indicator with ABC entries, which you can check out on the Trigger.trade YouTube channel. And then also in that way you can start using static bots as well as DaviddTech bots.
Just as a side note, for anybody who's new to DaviddTech, static bot is aimed towards any other indicator. For instance, if you want to connect market cipher or something like that, or another indicator to ByBit, you can do that. You'd have to choose the static bot to do that. And if you want to connect a DaviddTech bot, it's the variable bots. They've been renamed on the website. It would just used to be called static and variable bots. So just so as a side note.
Excuse me. Moving on to other parts, we've also added now, when you've got a problem with an opening trade, you can also go on Trigger.trade report an issue, and then also you can submit directly to the Trigger.trade team. Me or one of the developers will take it over for you and contact you onto Discord to be able to get back to you to solve your problem, saying if you've had a mistake on a bot which you can't understand, if index is in missing index, if you get a notification or something like that and you can't figure it out by yourself. We're here to help, so join us and send us the report. All you do is put in your Discord ID and upload your CSV file, great thanks to David's Optimiser, which you can upload directly to it, and a screenshot of the log which you got would be great, and also that way we can sort of solve the issue and get back to you as soon as possible. What's coming up next? So we'll be adding inverse derivatives, spot trading, future add-ons also will be USDCs. So for a new trading pair for everybody, we've been going through that quite a while now and had a couple of people which have asked us if it's going to be an add-on. Well, it's going to be a future add-on on one of our bots coming in the next couple of updates we're going to launch. What events are we going to have with Trigger.trade and DaviddTech? We're currently talking to ByBit and Binance for AMAs with them to be able to present to you the brokers that you've chosen with us to work alongside us, and also to talk a bit about all of the settings which they offer and what we can offer with Trigger.trade. I've also added the new features night, which will be at the end of this month, looking in new updates what you guys want and what you can suggest to us, so we can move in the direction of adding add-ons, not just what we want, but also what the community wants to build together. So there's just a little recap of all of our useful links inside of there. So Trigger.trade, of course, Trigger.trade knowledge base, and also you can find me also inside of the FAQ area, or inside of DaviddTech FAQ trades, Trigger.trade DaviddTech bot. So that's enough of a PowerPoint. If I can quit that page without it not loading too long, that's all right. We'll get on with setting up a bot together. So what we've done, so we've logged into Trigger.trade earlier on. I personally use ByBit connector. Here we have our APIs and secrets. And side note, you can use the encryptor, which is just here, so to encrypt any of your APIs. Let's just give you an example. Let's go and open it and add it. And here, so if we get our APIs from ByBit, for example, we can paste it into here. So let's just put a dummy event in here and a secret. So you're using your original APIs from ByBit here. Click on the encrypt. And now I output a line of code here. So with our new APIs and secret codes which have been enabled here. I've had this question quite a few times throughout the last week. You can use the same API and secrets encrypted here, setting up multiple bots. It's not just a one-time use. It's as many times as you want. If you've got 50 bots, you can use the same API if you want to, which you generated here. So let's go over to ByBit connector now. Use DaviddTech strategy. Let me close that window there. So here we're going to have our ByBit API that we've got since earlier on. Let me copy one here. And our secret code, which was generated by Trigger.trade's website, encryptor API. Here we're going to select all of the features that we're going to want. So if we're market ordered, generally DaviddTech or all of the strategies are market order, if I'm not mistaken, are they, David?
Yep, market order.
Yep, market. And then we've got here we select our margin. So if we're cross or isolated, and leave it isolated. We've got fixed amount, percentage balance, and absolute value. I'm going to use it as a fixed amount. So if we put, say, $20 inside there. A lot of people have asked me also this week about multi-TP. I can also see there's just a message in Discord here. Just let me read it. So just coming on to that now. So multi-TP needs to be enabled here. So if you've got it inside of a DaviddTech strategy and you're off when you insert your code, it will not enter multi-take profits. It will only enter the last take profit, final take profit, and not the multiple one. So here we can go and enable it. And also we set our leverage. As of V4 versions of DaviddTech, you can use dynamic leverage, and that will get the ones out of the settings that you've set inside of DaviddTech. As we've encrypted our key, now we've got to switch that on to encrypt to on. If not, we'll get a default message saying it couldn't decrypt. Loads of functionalities just here. So like prevent pyramiding, use DaviddTech strategy. That's the only choice which you've got here. If you want to close, open, exit orders. If you want to check stop the trade if your balance hits below, if you want to check for liquidity. your email address, and here now we're going to be interested in the Telegram bot. So for Telegram bot, we've got to add 2 of these users. So we've got user info bot, which will give us our Telegram ID, and DaviddTech API bot. So let's go and add those in. If we've got it open here, this will enable and open up a Telegram bot, which I'll show you on my screen now. So you've got to click on start. That would generate, if my internet is good enough, there you go, that'll generate my ID. And then after then, if we go back, oops, sorry about that, went too fast. And now if we go back and go to DaviddTech API bot, open Telegram, that will open it. So when you've opened up DaviddTech bot, you have to click on start. If you don't click on start, then you won't get any notifications. For a lot of people have had that issue currently. They open up the DaviddTech bot, it adds as a friend, but it doesn't click on start. And if you don't click on start, it won't start the bot actually itself. So you won't get any notifications coming through. I've had quite a few of issues with that this week, where people have asked me why they're not getting through the notifications, and in the end, it's just only because it's not where it starts. So remember that you've got to click on start to be able to start up the actual service itself. Going back to the website again. Sorry about my internet, guys.
No problem.
So now we've got our ID from the Telegram bot, which like I showed you earlier on. So we're just going to copy in our ID. Put it here. Now we're going to select all errors, successful trades, or notifications only. So I'm going to leave it at all as it's the first time set up for a bot. Best way to do is to leave it at all to start off with. At least then you've got yourself covered to get all notifications in case there's something that goes wrong, because without that log, we can't actually check to see what the errors are. We don't save any of your data. We don't save any of the bots itself. The only bot which sort of saves anything is what's on your mobile device or on your computer as a Telegram. After that, we're going to go scroll back up here and go copy enter long. And now we're going to go switch over to TradingView. So based on TradingView, I've already got a DaviddTech strategy already open here. So we're using the dead zone, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's right. I'm using the dead zone. So what we're going to do is we're going to check that all of our values are correct. And also we'll scroll right down the bottom to the alert section. Some of you have been using the dead zone, V3, etc., which has got a checkbox like this one here, which we used to your trade box. Leave it unchecked at all times. We have switched over the mode, so now we're using the alert area and no longer here. It makes the trades go faster for submission as well, so it makes it much easier. So we're going to get our long, select everything that's inside this case here, delete it out, and paste in our new code which is generated. We're going to do exactly the same thing for short, for the exit, sorry, and also we'll do exactly the same thing for short entry and short long. Just here. And short exit just here. Once when that's all added, we just, so these areas here we leave totally empty. They're for third parties as well. DaviddTech has developed for like Alertatron, etc. So we don't actually need that part. And we're going to scroll down, if my internet will allow me to, and save these settings. Once when the settings are saved, what we'll do is we'll go and click up on the alert button up here.
That's a quick question.
Yep.
You said that the other areas for entries or for third party as brokerages, or I guess what
No, yeah, but the other areas for like TP1, etc., are for other services that DaviddTech had a partnership with, like Alertatron, and for other
Wonderbit.
systems which need, yeah, sorry, David's wunderbit, was it?
Yeah, Wonderbit. We built it a long time ago. We were using Wonderbit and things like 3 commas and things like that. And because they didn't have, you couldn't put everything in one single alert, we've cut it into several alerts, which allowed us to send more than one alert, and it sends an alert on every take profit, which Trigger
so
Trade
this
does.
pretty much legacy. So there's a pretty much legacy
Yeah,
areas.
it's for other services like 3 commas that don't offer limit orders for multiple take profits. For instance, they rely on all of the multiple take profits to be done by alerts, as Trigger Trade does everything as a limit order in the future, or conditional orders, depending. So yeah, for Trigger Trade, it's not useful. For other services, it can be useful. Listen.
Thanks.
No problem.
Okay,
There's
so
a
we're just
bit
going
of a pump going on.
to click on alert here. We're going to select our indicator. So we've got DaviddTech zone. Here we need to select order fields only, and we're going to click on the question mark just down here, which once again I should be here about again tomorrow with the internet speed that I've got this evening. And here we need strategy order alert between the two brackets like so. We're going to take the message which is currently already in place, delete it out, enter strategy order alert. By default, if it's the first time you're setting up a webhook with Trigger Trade, your notification area, which is just here, should look something a bit like this. So what we've got to do is we're going to enable a webhook URL. We'll go back to Trigger Trade once the last time and copy webhook URL up here. Switch back over to TradingView and paste it in just here. So now we've got that set up. Click on create. And there you go. There's your bot that's ready to go for your next trades. There you go. Now it's active here on that time frame.
Perfect.
And that's it for setting up the Trigger Trade bots with DaviddTech strategy.
Just a
If
side
anybody's
note,
got any questions.
if you make any changes at any time, you do have to remove those alerts and re-add them afterwards. Just as a side note, if anybody makes any changes, like we were talking about earlier, William was talking about earlier, if you want to change your alerts to make them a little bit faster and only accept the successful trade alerts, you'll have to update that code and then re-add the alerts again to TradingView by removing them and adding them again.
Yeah, not just opening it and not clicking on just edit and save. That doesn't always work.
No.
There has been a couple of glitches on that area. So remove it and re-add again. That's the best way to do it on that part. So that's pretty much it from my end, I think, on the trading, on setting up TradingView, Trigger Trade with TradingView with DaviddTech indicators. If anybody's got any questions, feel free.
Yeah. So when you say you have to replace it if you make any changes, that's just the entries, right? Entries and the exits. You don't have to worry about the webhook and the other piece of code that you.
Exactly. It's say like if I'm opening up the page here, if I change my take profit here from 2% to 2.5 and click on OK, then I've got to reset the trigger here itself again, because that trigger is actually saved. When it has a pop up here, it will save, and it's got the percentage here, which is the 2% take profit. If you just saw, just on that is saved in the actual message before, so that one needs to be deleted. So I've made a change, delete it, and re-add it again to re-enable with the new configuration, which has been set up by Trigger.trade and yourself with the DaviddTech bot. So once again, just go there. Once when you've set up the first time, you've got to do is just you've got your Trigger.trade bot, change this over again. Copy and paste this part to message only. Just down here. Add in your message again here. Make sure there's no spaces before or after the two brackets. If not, that'll be your trade won't be able to go through again. There'll be an error on that area. And then also just check your notifications in case you've set up other hooks with other services since then. But if not, it will always be saved. By default, they saved the last webhook trigger, which has been used by Trigger.trade, by TradingView, sorry. So just save that in and you'll run again.
So you shouldn't have to change the webhook. You
No,
just need to change the
webhook stays identical. The only thing we'd like. Were you saying something?
so in event of a change, you just have to go in and delete the alert, and then basically, you said you don't have to go back in and change anything as far as the alert.
No, not at all. The only time when you want to change something is either the script itself is like I said earlier on, is if you want to change from getting all the notifications from the Telegram bot to only successful trades or error trades, then you need to change the scripts again inside of the API settings. But apart from that, nothing needs to be changed.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Everything like you might have seen inside the big lump of code that William showed you earlier in the screenshot. There was a lot of like hashtag TP1, hashtag TP2. Then they're called placeholders, and they're automatically changed by the DaviddTech indicator before sending them to the exchange. The idea behind Trigger.trade when we built it was that it will send absolutely every last piece of information possible to the exchange in one single alert, meaning that all of your limit orders, your stop loss, your take profits, the actual order itself, the market order or the limit order, whatever you've decided to set up, is all done in one single alert. That means that your trade technically is safer because you're not relying on TradingView alerts to exit a position. You're not relying on a third-party bot to exit a position. Everything's into the inside of that one single alert. So you won't get trades that haven't got stop losses and things like that, which when we started up DaviddTech a long time ago, just over a year ago, we were using other third-party services. Unfortunately, a lot of them were missing things like stop losses and things like that, and just didn't feel safe and wasn't great sometimes. So it's just something that we did when we built Trigger.trade.
Just reading the messages on Discord. Yep, first you just recapped what we've just said, so thank you very much for that part. For people which just joined, that you had that the alert save script and settings, so you need to recreate each time you change any settings. Recreate an alert. Vlad, troubleshooting error balance between OneUSD. If they're using ByBit or Binance, that would be an error because their funds aren't actually in the derivatives account or future account. They're probably it's probably traded inside of the funding area or the spot trade area. I'll just show you quickly here. Once again, guys, I'm really sorry for my internet connection this evening. It is taking forever to load up a page. And no, Vlad, I'm not going to go on this discussion with you again about moving to Romania. Just leave that to load quickly, 2 seconds, and Nelson will show you.
Somebody asked what the idea was behind the. Sorry, Will. Behind the. I can't remember what it was now. Sorry. Behind the encryptor. Sorry. What the idea was behind the encryptor. It was just
the idea of the.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go on, no problem.
No. I was just going to say it gives just an extra layer of security. That was all. For anybody who's worried about putting their API codes onto TradingView. We don't store them in the slightest. The idea behind Trigger.trade was it to be as safe as possible and not store any codes whatsoever. So the idea behind it is it just gives an extra layer of security. It encrypts the codes before they hit the server. The server hits ByBit, and they're decrypted at that point to send them over to ByBit. So it just gives an extra layer of security. That's all. You had another question.
So,
yeah, sorry.
So what you're saying is you guys are creating the next FTX scandal?
No. The idea was I totally understand. Thanks for that one. No, the idea was to keep away from it. There's been quite a few bots out there that have been hacked recently, as you may have seen in the news, on the crypto news and things like that. Our idea is not to store in the slightest any credentials in the slightest. It's been going for a long time. It's something that's open source that you can find on GitHub. It was a member of the community that started building this. Then we took it over from him. And then it got renamed to Trigger.trade, so we could so that William could take over all of the support and everything. The idea was from the beginning, the two things that were most important was the fastest possible trades that we could get. It's three things. There's fastest possible trades that we can get, which means that there is no bot that doesn't follow your trade. You can't do things like trading stop losses unless it's built into the indicator, because there is no following. It's very, very simple entries, fast. And then the other thing was security. So nothing's stored at all on our servers whatsoever. And the third one was to make sure that the stop losses and take profits were all sent directly to the exchange as quick as possible.
Same time.
In the first alert, sorry. Nothing to do with FTX.
Okay. I thought Trigger.trade was just, a sign of being robbed, but I get it now.
Not at all. One of our pride at Trigger.trade is we don't store any credentials at all. So, and we've got it the safest possible for anybody.
We did install FTX as an API, and only 2 days after we installed the API, the FTX fell apart. So it could be technically our fault. No, I was just joking. But yeah, it was a lot of work installing it, and 2 days afterwards, it all fell apart. So yeah,
that was before the trade.
Yeah, nothing to do.
Hitch trying to install Binance, haven't had an alert yet since I set up the bot. Hench, if you like, after we can go on to private DMs and we can check the setup together, just so not saying it stays, but without sharing screens and without checking out your APIs, because this is a live recording onto YouTube, etc. So just to be on the safe side, we can go onto a private room at the end of this if you like, or at any time. Just let me check on the YouTube channel on Trigger.trade. Nope, that's all of the questions on my end. Is Is there anything on the DaviddTech YouTube channel, David, doing questions?
No, that was it. That was the question. There was one question, single question there today.
Well, I think we've done the tour of Trigger Trades for this evening, and if anybody's got any questions, I'll be online anyway for a little while still. So if you've got any questions which pop up, feel free to jump in and ask them.
Yeah, I think William's going to be doing other videos with how to set up things. Like I said, like if you wanted to use Market Cipher or things like that in the near future. Also, you're going to be going through
next week.
And Binance and Spot and all of those kind of things. You'll be in once a week to go through them. And I'm back in tomorrow. Going to be going through DaviddTech AI, and I've also been working on a indicator which allows you to backtest and find best settings for instance, if you're using a Bollinger Band or something like that, and you want to try and build your own strategy. What you can do is you've got a drop down box. You can add the Bollinger Band to your trading setup. Let me share my screen very quickly here, if I can. No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Just need to stop watching. If I go over here, I don't know if I can share my screen very quickly as well. Not sure. Yes. Let me pull the screen up. Where is it? Over here. No, not going to be able to, I don't think. Would I be able to? Just give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so I'm building it's kind of like an optimizer. Mean reversion, that was one there. Mean reversion, if I go over there. Mean reversion, this one here. Share screen, I believe that's right. If I'm right.
So, quick question. Is there any possibility of any of the integrated TradingView brokerages being integrated into Trigger Trade, or are we just relying on
currently the main idea is for Trigger Trade to be as fast as possible. So integrating a broker inside or a strategy inside of an actual website like Trigger Trade will slow down the trades so much for us currently that it's not actually in any plans for the future. We are working on trying to integrate with the TradingView APIs to be able to make trades faster, but we're still dependent on TradingView to be able to get the graphics from them to be able to place the orders.
William is also working on things like a plugin which allows us will allow you to build something which connects to things like MT4, MT5. Which will be released in a not can't say soon, but he will release it as a beta test, so you'll be able to use that. There's also CCXT library, which you may have heard of, which is a cryptocurrency trading exchange library in Python, which is integrated into Trigger Trade in the back end, which will allow us in the near future to pretty much add any of those ones. Problem, like William just said, is the speed of us being able to, William and his team to be able to test them. So there'll be ones that are officially supported and other ones that are just betas, not officially tested. You'll have to test with your own knowledge. William's obviously going to be there to answer any questions, but there'll be certain, if the exchange just pops up on CCXT, it'll work, but you'll have to test it obviously on the testnet with the videos and things like that to work out afterwards. So there are 2 tools that William's working on to increase the number of exchanges and brokers.
Awesome. Thanks.
No problem.
Cool.
So I'm working on this thing here, which is called the Optimiser, which is just a trading strategy. It might be a different name afterwards. What it does is, for instance, I've added, let me just bring them up. Let me hide all this other stuff here. This here, ATR bands. Okay, so we have the Bollinger Bands here. The Bollinger Bands are on here, for instance, and we want to create a source so we can choose our Bollinger Bands, and we're going to create a long strategy as the price comes above and breaks above this upper band. So we go here and look for the upper band. We go looking to find the highest profit. You put your balance in there, how much you'd like, and that will run through however many trades that you can find. There's 400, so it'll run through 400 settings in less than 40 seconds, because that's all it's got to do before TradingView, and it'll give you the best settings here. Obviously, that was a terrible trading strategy as an example, but it'll give you the best settings here that it can find. So that's something that I'm going to be discussing tomorrow. Obviously, if you come up with some great settings, you'll be able to just literally type them in here, and I'll set up an area so you'll be able to connect that directly to Trigger.trade, and then Trigger.trade will be able to take the alerts, and you'll be able to build your own strategy by choosing any indicator off of TradingView. So you'll be able to put Market Cipher in here, you'll be able to put anything in here, you'll be able to find the best settings using the Optimiser thing here, and boom, set up your own strategy.
Wait a minute. So this is separate from the extension?
Yeah, this is just because the extension, problem with the extension, the Chrome extension, is that TradingView doesn't like it. So I'm just looking for maybe some alternatives so that you can sort of build your own strategy. It's going to be sort of a strategy builder. The problem with TradingView is that you can only pick one indicator. It'd be nice if you could add like 3 or 4 of them, but you can only pick one indicator. So my first idea will be to add this with the source. You'll be able to choose which indicator you want, and then I'll bake in things like an ATR trading stop loss, or MACD and RSIs and things like that into the optimizer, so that you can use them for a second and a third confluence. So for instance, like I said, if you've got Market Cipher and you want a green dot, you'll be able to find in this list Market Cipher green dot because it's added to your chart. When that pops up, eventually you'll have a couple more drop downs here, like I said, an RSI over 70 or something like that, and you'll be able to create your own strategy using any indicator on TradingView. This will then go in the background and find the best possible settings. Currently it's limited to percentages, but I hope to add things like risk to reward with ATRs and things like that, so you'll be able to find them as well. So it's going to be a kind of an alternative to the current extension we have on TradingView, on Chrome, sorry. And it's pretty fast.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So you'll be able to literally build your own indicator in a couple of seconds. And then we have David.ai, which David.ai is something we're working in the background, which is I did a full sort of video on it.
David Macker's going to love that, by the way.
Yeah.
He's going to actually go mad. He's going mad for this. Honestly, I can just see him now.
Hi, Steve. How you going, mate? Nice to hear.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah, good.
I'm just lurking.
Sorry?
Just lurking.
Yeah. How's your new job going, mate? All right?
Oh, they're not giving me anything to do.
No?
I've been doing it for a month, and I don't have enough work. It's strange. But yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there.
Yeah. Lots of coffee.
Yeah. It's giving me loads of time for crypto anyway, so that's all right.
That's all right. Yeah, I saw your...
Still pay me. So...
Marco.
He's there.
Marco. So there are a couple of things that I'm working on. It was this one I built as well from ChatGPT. Just working on this one and working on things like a bit more mean reversion instead of just like percentages and things like that. Trying to give us some more alternative trading strategies for the future. There you go. So I'm back in tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about that.
You said you already had a video made on David AI?
Yep, it was. I'll put the link to our second YouTube channel in there. It was 2 streams by myself ago that I went through it. David.ai is a platform that I'm building in the background at the moment, which is it's a strategy builder built on Python, but there's a website front end which you'll be able to find on David.ai. There's nothing there at the moment, but the idea is that you can, very much like I just showed you, you've got you'll be able to be able to choose what coin pair you want to trade on and things like that, and it's going to go through and throw against the wall tons and tons of strategies. It's got tons of indicators baked in. Just goes through one after the other, after the other, after the other, trying to find a strategy setup. It has basic rules that you'll be able to fill out, like I'm looking for a strategy that's got a Sharpe ratio over 1, that's got a net profit of X, that's got a win rate of more than 50, all of those kind of things, and it's just going to go through and it's going to backtest, and find, like, it'll add a RSI with a MACD with a MFI, and then try and create a strategy, and then it'll backtest it on default settings, and if it comes up with something above a Sharpe ratio of 1, meeting all of those rules, it saves it to a wallet for you. And then it goes away, and then it will do, say for instance, you say to it, I want 500 strategies. It will create 500 strategies. Like I said, it takes about 1 second for each strategy. And then it will save the ones that are good to a wallet, and then it goes through and optimizes. That takes a little bit longer. And then it will go through and do a walk forward test. Also, it'll do a multi-pair test and things like that. So it's doing like absolutely everything to try and debunk that strategy as it best it can, and the best ones it will save to a wallet for you, so you can literally copy and paste the code into TradingView and connect them to Trigger.trade or whatever. It could be anything else. It could be Alertatron or any other one. The code's yours. It's shared on the website for everybody else to download as well, but you can do whatever you like with the code afterwards.
Wow. So, I mean, does it make waffles too?
Nope.
Shit.
I just DM'd you over the video for DaviddTech AI in your inboxes.
But it is very, very much in alpha stages at the moment. It's not. I was hoping to get. Well, I might be able to try and get something out for tomorrow now, but I was trying to get it so everybody can test it. Very much, like I said, it's very much a framework. I've done most of the back end coding for it, like all of the generation of the indicators I showed in the video. It was actually generating indicators and strategies, back testing them on the front end. I'm working on the front end with another developer at the moment. He's taken. I'm not very good as a front end developer in the slightest, so he's going to take all the front end. He's taken all my code and building the front end at the moment. So hopefully we'll be able to get a kind of a test out for everybody the beginning of this month, and my idea is to get it into beta in the first quarter of this year. Well done, Will. Thank you very much for your wonderful stream.
Thanks for having me.
That's brilliant. No, thanks for having me. Part of the team.
Not about that. Well, thanks for keeping me on the team this week. I'm extended for an extra week, guys.
Yeah, so thank you very much. If anybody's got any questions for William or myself at all, or Vlad or anybody.
Thanks, Hench. I'll speak to you in DM in a minute for looking at your Binance setup for you.
One question I have is, any thoughts on expanding this into like volume profile or any of the strategies around that, around volume imbalances or footprint charts or anything like that?
Are we talking about David.ai or
or really any of it, honestly?
William's Trigger.trade, you can connect. We'll be able to connect directly using the static bot. So if you're using volume profiles and things like that, you'll be able to use them as long as there's some kind of alert system inside a TradingView for that. There's plenty of indicators that are out there, so you could be able to. If you're looking for something on the DaviddTech side of things, my idea at the moment is to build you'll be able to build TradingView strategies. In the second period, we'll be able to build things in things like for in Python. So that will be something maybe that we can discuss as a community afterwards, and we could add more things like volume profiles and things like that, which will be outside of TradingView. As TradingView is brilliant, but it has its limits, and Python will be something that's potentially will give us better results, and as it will be building bots for Python, the sky's the limits at that point, really, and the information we have. So yeah,
great, thank you.
No problem.
For inverse perps, we're currently working on it. The update should be, the beta version should be launched at the end of the week, beginning next week, and then after that, we'll be officially launching it on the following week after that, once when the beta tests are being gone through.
And there's USDC as well.
So just another quick question. You said the static bots are for third-party strategies and indicators?
They're third-party indicators, or if not, if you want to do an entry on a fixed entry, like if you want to hit a long on, say, Bitcoin at 27,000, if you want to hit a long on it, you can put a trade into when it hits over that point to enter a long for you, or if not, for third-party indicators as well.
Okay.
Looking forward to see David.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Oh, I see enough of David.
Good evening.
Hi, David. How you going, mate?
Hi, Marco.
Nice to see you.
Question, David.
Yes.
About David I.
Yes.
How long will it take to produce some result?
How long will it take to produce an indicator, or how long will it take for me to launch it?
Indicator or strategies.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Strategies. Yeah. Okay. So the first generation of indicators, it takes, like I said, literally a second on default settings. So if you have 500 indicators to build, or strategies to build, that'll take 500 seconds. To build those, but they are, as it's dynamic, as it finds something that hits your criteria, it then generates the code in PineScript for you at that point, and it will it's added to a table below it. So if it takes, let's say, 30 iterations of strategies to find a decent setup, within 30 seconds you'll have your first one, which is ready to download.
And what do you mean with default settings?
Default settings, for instance, an RSI 14 length, the general default settings that you'd find when adding an indicator to TradingView. Then it goes through a second part after it's done those 500 iterations. Now, currently on the first release that I'm going to be releasing, you'll have to click a button which says now optimize. Afterwards, what I'm going to do is get it so that it goes through each and every step automatically. So after it's found, let's say 5 to 10 good setups which hit your lowest points. So for instance, I'd suggest not going for a sharp ratio of 2 or 1.5 or whatever at the beginning. Start with a slightly lower threshold. That will bring up a couple of strategies, and then it will go through the optimization period, which is slower. But obviously you're going to have a lot less indicators or strategies to optimize than the 500. So it'll take time to go through all of the the setups, but it's much faster, much faster than TradingView and the Optimiser plugin.
For example, when we select the indicators we want to use, like RSI, MACD, whatever, it's not at the start trying to test all values. We can select like a minimum and a maximum value.
Yeah, you'll be able to, but that's part of the optimization. It's not part of the generation. So the generator uses the default values. The optimizer uses like the optimizer does. It's a bit like it just literally throws strategies at the wall, trying to find the best set ones. Well, not the best ones, potential ones with potential, and then it'll go through and optimize them. And it's a project in process. If anybody's got any sort of better ideas, maybe of building and optimizing in one straight line, maybe that might be an idea as well. But it's just how it proceeds is something that we'll probably discuss as we go along, and everybody's going to come up with some ideas, and hopefully we'll find a way of building them faster. Currently, like I said, it's going to be a button that says generate. That'll generate 500 strategies. Pick ones that hit your minimum threshold, and then it'll go through and optimize. And that optimize will obviously be much stricter thresholds with your things like the Sharpe ratios and things like that.
Okay, because now default settings must be set. Are you setting them, or can we set our default settings by ourselves?
Currently, they're baked into what I've coded in the background, but there's no reason that it can't be just a field that you can fill in yourself afterwards. Currently, at the moment, just so that I can get something released for everybody, there's pretty much the simple settings of an RSI over 70. And then that 70 will be optimized using the optimizer. But like I said, the default settings will be something that we'll be able to change afterwards. I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't cause me a problem to add like a settings page or whatever.
Yeah, so like for example, when we use an ATR multiplier, then you have maybe a problem, or will that be fixed later with optimization?
But optimization would obviously fix that problem. But like you just said, it would be better if there was, like at the beginning, before launching, maybe that yourself or any human would say, right, okay, this should be the default value at first. But like I said, I'll throw up some kind of simpler version, and then we'll just go through. I'll build some kind of presentation of each page, and then we can like add suggestions, and I'll build them as we go along.
Yes, because it can be difficult, because most people will not know what are good default settings.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
And then it can give maybe problems to find good strategies. But you can probably tell more about it because you probably did some tests already.
Yes, yeah, I'll be adding something there. There also might be an idea of randomization, which randomized settings. For instance, the length of an RSI could be a random number between 12 and 100 or whatever, and that could randomly choose a number for creating the strategy, and then it'll be just literally a question of pressing that. Right, let's generate 5,000 strategies, and it'll go through and randomly choose them, and eventually it's going to pick up. Some good settings that will optimize and make it even better, and they'll just end up in the wallet on the home page anyway. So eventually, hopefully, on the wallet on the home page, there'll be a ton of decent strategies that anybody will be able to use.
Yeah, okay. I think when I listen now, I think it will indeed be better to find a solution for that. Like, for example, with length, the shorter the time frame, it can be that we need a longer length, for example.
Absolutely.
And then we have a big problem to miss maybe a lot of good strategies that can find. So as I now think, it will be better to have possibility like we can do it with Optimiser, like a minimum value and a maximum value and the step value.
That's part of the optimization anyway, but yes, yeah, I agree with you. At first it probably will miss a load of setups, and then we'll go through your ideas, like I said, and anybody else's ideas as we go along. Either adding some kind of human like values parameters so that they can fill them out, or like I just said, some kind of randomness. We'll throw 1 million strategies against the wall and see which ones stick as such. And eventually we'll come across some decent settings as we go along.
Yes, that sounds better personally, but I must have more experience probably with testing with what you come up.
Yeah. It'll be something that we'll all work on together, like we did with the Optimiser, coming up with suggestions and things like that, and I'll build them and add them as we go along. I've also been building this strategy. I don't know if you saw, Marco, which is
no, at home. So I'm watching on my phone. So okay. I've missed the spot.
No problem. Building a strategy inside of TradingView where you can choose any indicator from this here. So you add your Bollinger Bands to the TradingView screen, to your chart. That will pop up in here. You'll be able to choose it. And then it will go through and try and find the best settings of a max stop loss, max take profits. For instance, there it's gone through 500 iterations of longs and tried to find the best settings. And that's the best settings it's found. My idea, unfortunately, inside TradingView, you can only have one of these source boxes here. You can't add like 10 of them. But if you had something, like I said, like a market cipher or something like that, you'll be able to have market cipher pop up here. You'll have the market cipher green dot, for instance, in the list here because you've got it on your chart. And that's one of its plots. So it'll come up with, you'll have here green dot market cipher. And you'll be able to go here, choose whether long or shorts, optimize for profit or high win rate, number of iterations that it will run through on each new bar. You've got your standard settings here. I hope to build on this. Things like your max stop loss, max take profits, whether it's got a trailing stop loss. I'll add some baked-in indicators like the RSI and things like that for confluence. And with this, you'll be able to build your own strategy on any indicator on TradingView. There'll be Trigger.trade built into this. So you'll be able to connect it once you've found good settings. So it's almost an optimizer strategy builder all inside of TradingView.
And the results we see in the table on the right side.
Yeah, that's going to be, well, that is, you have your stop loss value of your best of thing. Obviously, this one isn't a very good one, but it's giving you your balance, your close balance. It gives you the best winning stop loss, the best take profits, and the percentage win rate and things like that. So it was an idea that I come up with yesterday, and I've been working on it since yesterday, so it's very, very new, but I think it's got quite a lot of potential of finding any indicator on TradingView, being able to backtest it, and even if you don't use it as the connector to Trigger.trade, you'll be able to find fantastic settings for a trading setup, and maybe it'll be worth just like going, okay, screenshot it, stick it on DaviddTech's Discord, and somebody will code it or whatever, or use ChatGPT to code it or whatever. Could have quite a lot of potential, I think.
How is it optimizing?
How is it optimizing? So what it does is it goes through, here it gives you some options. Currently it has Okay, this isn't the latest version. Currently, it has breaks above a certain level, so you'll have the level, for instance, an RSI goes above 70. There's a drop down on the latest version, which I've got, which says breaks above a certain level, and then that level will have 70 in it, for instance. If it goes above 70, that will take you long. And that number will be optimized, or hold on, that number will be optimized. No, it optimizes only the take profits and stop losses. And then, for instance, a Bollinger Band, it will say break above the Bollinger Band or things like that. There's another drop down. I'll show it to you tomorrow.
Okay, good. So that has no steps.
No steps. No, it's literally it's work in progress. Very new. Love to get some feedback on it as well. It's a very new idea. I haven't seen it on TradingView anywhere else so far, so it'll be something that we can talk about, and it might just help us find some good setups that we could continue to improve on.
Okay. I hope to visit tomorrow.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Sorry for talking about that, William, on your trade. Just thought I'd finish off and say that I'll be talking about it tomorrow, and there was me talking again a bit too much.
Well, that's no problem. Don't worry about that. I'm used to
it. Yeah, you lived with me 30 years.
That's fired.
Yeah, absolutely.
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years, yeah. He's 30, not me. No.
I'm not very either.
I know
We're not going to have this conversation again, are we?
Sharing a bedroom as well.
Oh, God. No, thanks. Well, that brings us really sure.
I did with my brother for a long time.
Yes.
Don't recommend it.
No, I hope you can video over 18s, David, on YouTube.
Yeah. No, William's much younger than me. I'm old.
35.
35. Who, William or me?
You.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thanks, Mark. You're my best friend.
Yes, you said that a few months ago.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I'm around 35. I am around 35, honestly, actually, but not far.
Going on 50.
Yeah, going on 50. No.
50.
Not quite, not yet. No, not quite yet.
You still
couple of years of me.
David, other question.
Yeah, sure.
Do we have a solution for a FOREX backtester for manual backtesting? Sometimes see FOREX Tester 5 or know the exact name, but do we have something like that?
Do we have a FOREX backtester? David.AI will have obviously the backtester inside that, which will work on FOREX.
But this like, for example, you see it often with smart money.
Yes.
So you can test some rules that you want to try in backtesting, and it's much more easier to backtest, and you see at the end an overview how the results are.
Okay.
With TradingView, it's very difficult because you miss a lot of data with short time frames also.
Yeah.
So when you want to look for sniper entries on the 30 seconds time frame, for example, you can't go far away. There are a few programs that use FOREX data, and then it's much more easier to backtest that.
Yeah, honestly, Marco, I wouldn't be the best person to be able to help you with that. I'll quite happily look if you don't mind sending me a couple. I have sorted out my messenger problem. So I don't know if you know, but my telephone number got shared on a couple of Discords recently.
Oh.
Yes. So I had about 200 email. Yeah, I know. 200 requests for friends. Yeah, thanks, Will. 200 requests from friends on WhatsApp and things like that. So it got a bit hectic, but William helped me remove most of them and ban most of them. So if you don't mind, send it to me. I'll have a look. No problem whatsoever.
So now your WhatsApp
back to normal. But well, I hope it is. Hopefully, if my number doesn't get shared again. But yes, unfortunately, my number got shared on well, what I've found, I've shared on another Discord group. Somebody sent me a nice screenshot. So yes.
You know also who did it.
I can see the username of the person, yes, but it doesn't really help. It's pretty anonymous, to be honest. But yeah.
Really strange. Okay.
Yeah. You get used to it, don't you? Yeah, this kind of thing.
But if anybody else wants it, just DM me.
Thanks, Phil.
with €5 or something.
Yeah.
€5. Wow.
I'll send it over.
We'll do some research and we'll send you some links to the software.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Yes, you do for all your hard work.
Cool. William, you just got another message, I believe, on Discord.
Yep, just 2 seconds. Just going to have a look at it now. Nope, just a question for you for David AI. When are you going to be able to add already existence from TradingView to David AI strategies?
Would I be able to? Any idea when you're going to be able to strategies already existing?
It's already possible. David AI.
David AI. Like I said, there's 30 to 40 indicators that I've baked in so far, which I've recoded most of them to the same algorithm as TradingView. I think the idea at first will be some kind of voting system so that we can vote, and then I'll code them and post them in there, and then there's going to be some kind of GitHub or something like that where we'll be able to upload Python code together and literally copy and paste the ones from TradingView and add them one by one. At first, it's going to be quite a lot of work to add them, but I've built everything a bit like WordPress on a framework so that we can add plugins and start building it together for anybody who knows how to code, and anybody who doesn't, we'll just give the suggestions and I'll code them and put them on. So
is that the question that the person asked, actually?
Any idea when you're going to be able to add strategies?
Existing strategies to add to David I.
Yes. Maybe I misunderstood. Any idea when you're going to be able to add strategies already existing?
Like, for example, someone has an own TradingView strategy and he wants to add that to David.I.
I guess for optimizing, maybe, or
I don't know.
No.
I think that's the question. I saw this question also last week. Someone asked it to Will.
Yes.
If it's also possible to add invite-only scripts, and William said to look to that. But I don't know what they exactly mean.
Yes, my question also last week. Okay, I'll just wait. So David AI is
I think
sorry.
I think what Unsacoda means is that would he be able to import his own open source code into David AI to be able to optimize it and to be able to test it with other strategies, compare them?
Yeah, there'll be. I'm just going to let him type just to make sure. That's the question. The idea is eventually along the way it'll be able to convert any trading strategy into its own code so that we can optimize. That's it. Yeah, okay. So it'll be able to optimize any strategy. Like I said, I'm also building other tools like this internal optimizer. The internal optimizer inside of TradingView will be able to take any any indicator and turn that into a strategy and optimize and try and find the best settings as well. So I'm trying to find lots of different tools to try and fix all of the not problems, but the potential ways of optimizing without using external tools like the optimizer as it is, like for Chrome. Although it works fine at the moment, there's going to be one point in the future where it will not work. So I'm just looking for alternatives and trying to build them as well. So will you be able, when will you be able to integrate your strategy into David AI? I'm going to have to kind of say that I don't really know, but I'm hoping to get the first part out for this quarter for everybody on beta testing, and then afterwards I'll build features like that as well. So it'll be in the second quarter.
How will it work? Like, for example, when we want to have a strategy with market structure and order blocks.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that I'm kind of coming up as problems as I go along at the moment. That's also why I'm building other tools as well. Some things are going to be calculations that David AI will not be able to understand. It understands. Currently, it would understand simple math because it's currently at a very simple stage at the moment. Where you've created a variable at the end which is long and short, and then that math it will be able to import. Things like you just said, Marco, things like order blocks and things like that are going to be something that I'm going to have to think about as I go along and try and integrate or offer other things like the internal optimizer here or another tool that maybe will help us, or me as a human, I'll be able to create some kind of algorithm and then import that as code that it will be able to understand. That's why I said some things are going to have to be done by myself or somebody who knows how to code. Or that's why I've built building a sort of a plug-in area where people will be able to create a strategy, an indicator with order blocks that are set with fixed rules to the David AI platform. And then we'll be able to do that. So some will be human built, some will be importable as such. So so.
Okay. Is there a possibility for people with less coding knowledge? Like, for example, I want to have a strategy to test with order blocks, price touched order block, forms a change of character, pulls back to an order block and set that as an entry.
Okay.
How can I do that? Because I really want to have an indicator or strategy. I prefer strategy to try that. But I know you probably work on the indicator for scopes. But I also want to test such kind of things and or other SMC strategies with fair value, etc.
Okay.
Are there possibilities for that?
Inside David AI, unless somebody builds a plugin, like I just said, it won't be part of it. But we won't be able to build it because although it's called David AI, it isn't really like ChatGPT or anything. It hasn't really got an AI structure behind it. It's, like I said earlier, very much throwing ideas at indicators at a wall to see which one sticks. So it's very, very random. If somebody builds or myself included, builds a fair value gap indicator or indicator, and then I fix some rules inside that, it'll be able to build it, no problem whatsoever. An alternative is like I said last week, my idea is to get back in here as much as I possibly can at 2:00 in the afternoon. At first I won't do like general announcements or anything like that, but just anybody that's in at the same time as me or wants to talk at a certain time, I can sit in and I'll code them because that's what I like doing. That's what I'm here for. If you have ideas for an indicator, I'm happy to do it. I can happily build the indicator whilst we're talking about, I don't know, about football or whatever. I don't care. Just talking, and just as long as I've got the rules in front of me, I'll happily code it with sharing my screen at the same time. I think it'd be good for anybody who wants to learn as well. TradingView, I've been doing it for TradingView PineScript, sorry. Been doing it for quite a while now, so I can answer questions as I go along. I'm not the fastest typer in the world. I will come up across bugs, but I'll do my best to code anything that anybody wants. As long as it's, like I said, the rules are well prepared and I can understand, I'll happily code them.
You expect that you have that time soon?
I want to get back in here. I want to get back talking. William's product, the Trigger.trade, as you know, caused me a lot of pressure and time to get fixed. But now, as you can see, as a product, it's pretty good. It's got all of the features. William's done a fantastic job of fixing any problems and going through and managing the problems with myself. He's done the work. I mean, I've just coded, as you know. So that's now fixed. I want to get back to where we were before, and being here I want to go in. I want to be in here. I want to use things like ChatGPT to show people how to prompt correctly, but how to prompt ChatGPT to get the results that they want, and then go from a baseline indicator and create a full strategy. And those kind of ideas I'd like to do on the live streams more often, much more often.
Work it hard.
Yeah, working hard. Sorry? So your mic keeps cutting off. I couldn't hear what you said. Sorry? No? Okay. As your mic cut, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Yes, I want to get in here as much as I possibly can. If you have, like I said, any ideas, if you send me the rules, Marco, I'll try and create them. No problem.
Yes, I will try. But I thought
you need to think of a name, Marco, for your Marco.
Steve,
do you like Marco, Bob?
I explained a lot to you this afternoon.
You did.
That are the rules. Like I want to see if that works in backtesting. So I will write some rules more clearly.
Yeah,
and
sure.
we'll send them to you, David, because you now have already several strategies where you have coded order blocks, etc. When we can test then some good entries, that will be great. And multi-time frame is no problem, you think?
I have coded 4 scopes, a multi-time frame indicator for order blocks. Now, as an indicator, as you know, it won't cause too much of a problem because obviously there's normal, you're humans, and we can see when things are removed. But it will need serious backtesting because order blocks are the same sort of thing as when we did the RSI, for instance. If it goes back 2 hours, it may remove that order block. So it will need backtesting as a strategy.
Okay, yeah, because I want to see it when it touches the order block and we go back to a lower time frame, like the 1 minute or 30 seconds, and then with some structure.
Why not try and get it as an indicator first, and then try and get it as a strategy after that?
I don't know what will be better. David is a specialist. We had a lot of problems in the past with multi-time frame.
Yes, multi-time frames not easy in TradingView. Some things I've managed to find solutions for, other things I haven't. Like Steve said, we can just give it a go. I mean, it's going to be a couple of hours working on it. I mean, if it's just a couple of hours lost, it doesn't make no difference, does it? I mean, I'm happy to sit here coding it. We'll turn it into an indicator. If it looks right, I'll just add the lines of code so that we can backtest it, and we'll go from there. And if it doesn't work, well, it didn't work. It's not the end. At least we tried.
Good to test. What is that? I think you have already some very good strategies. So maybe it's easy to add only some entry rules.
Yeah. I've got loads of code snippets for order blocks, fair value gaps, all of that kind of thing. I've got loads of them for because obviously we've been doing it for a while now. So it'd be quite easy for me to copy and paste them. And anything that I code live with the person or people around, I'll happily give the code and the open source code that we work on together. I'm not just going to keep it for myself as an idea. So you can continue working with it in the background as well. Then you decide, or we can do it over a couple of sessions or whatever.
Okay, I will.
If you send me a couple of rules over, that way I can at least prepare myself. If you've got any sort of like indicators that you find interesting, just list them in the rules. That way I can look at the code. So I don't look like an
idiot. I had sent them to you, but I don't know if you saw them some time ago.
Okay. If you don't mind just sending them to me again, and then I will go through them. And like I said, just so I don't look like an idiot, and try and work my way through it without on a live stream. Been a long time since I haven't done one like that, but I'll happily give it a go.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
No problem. I think he's.
David?
Yeah.
I've also sent you like 2 strategies. Yeah, it's me.
Yes,
Hi. I also sent you like 2 or 3 strategies for the last month. Have you had any occasion to look at them?
Yes, I did indeed.
It's on Discord.
On Discord. Yes, indeed. I did look at your couple of strategies, Vlad. Let me just go over to your... Oh, blimey. Yep, yes, I did, Vlad. Yes, I have looked through them. Maybe we can do a live stream together as well, where we can go through this one as well, the absolute histogram and things like that. Yeah, we could go through maybe a live stream and do a live stream together, Vlad, and build us. We did one, didn't we? We did the Romanian together. The Romanian. Maybe we can do that sometime during the week as well.
Sure, let's go.
Yeah, cool. Back to where we were before. Be nice. Right, I will leave William to say the ending words because it was meant to be William. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody that joined this evening. And if you've got any questions, feel free to DM me or just note me in the chat. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Like I said, I'll be on for another couple of hours on the Discord this evening. So if you've got any questions, feel free.
If David will shut up.
Well, I've already said that in comments with Johnny.
Yeah, I saw. Thanks.
Doing good. How are you, David? How are you doing?
Very well, and yourself?
Doing all right.
Yeah, good. All right. I've got to get you your indicator as well. I've just got the last bit I was testing with William during the week. Just got to get the very last bits done, and I'll get it over to you so you can test it.
I'll be ready.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much.
There's a queue for indicators now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, seen that. Man in demand.
Someone needs a golden ticket, don't they? Chocolate bar with a golden ticket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Some sort of airdrop with a coin or something.
And I haven't forgotten you as well, Steve.
I can't remember what I've asked for.
Don't worry.
Did I ask for something?
No. It was the leaderboard.
Hang on, I'll have a think. Oh, the leaderboard. Oh, yeah.
Yes, so I haven't forgotten you. I got a little message this morning telling me that I have forgotten you, but I hadn't really forgotten you. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll speak to you all tomorrow. I have to find something to talk about now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Good evening.
Bye, everyone.